Hi there, Zamir for NerdTube. These are my thoughts and spoilers of episode 7 of the Peacemaker, Dragging With My Heart. Now, this is my little eagerly over here. Hey, Juicy. Juicy, come here. You can hear her. Come here, my little Juicy. This is Juicy, my eagerly. She's going a little bit balmy right now. And I'm bringing her up simply because when I saw Eagerly taking some damage earlier in this episode, it really got to me. I'm a bird owner as well. I have a big fat juicy bird, and I don't like the idea of any damage coming to her. So seeing Eagerly getting hurt really brought me to tears, but also seeing him then hugging Peacemaker afterwards in the veterinarian clinic made me really happy. I really enjoyed this episode. There were some really good moments, and we had some closing to certain story arcs, like Peacemaker's dad, because in this episode we find out that Peacemaker's dad was the one that would make him and his brother fight each other as kids. And we see this in the flashback montage. And Peacemaker, when he was a young boy, punched his brother so hard in the face that he ended up killing him. And Peacemaker's dad blamed him for this, even though it was Peacemaker's dad's fault for making his sons fight, and he would be doing that to make money out of his sons fighting. His dad really is a piece of shit. There's no love lost on his dad, because we do see a fight scene between Economos, Peacemaker Vigilante, Eagerly versus White Dragon and the White Supremacists. And when that fight scene occurs, and near the end of that fight scene, we see Peacemaker kill his dad. There's no love lost. No love lost at all. Like, his dad fucking deserved to die. There's nothing worse than having a situation like that with one of your own parents or a sibling or anything along those lines. But if you can't choose your family sometimes, and it's unfortunate when your family ends up being some of the most despicable people that's ever fucking lived. And white supremacists are some of the most despicable people on the fucking planet. So I had no problems with Peacemaker killing his fucking dad. He fucking deserved it. And prior to that, we also see Peacemaker tying a fucking helmet to a raccoon. Actually, let me rephrase that. We don't see him tying the helmet. We see the aftermath of him tying his helmet to a raccoon. And the reason why he did that is because his fucking helmet has a tracker on it. And so he doesn't want his dad chasing him down, because his dad created all his equipment. So he ties the helmet to a raccoon, and we see the aftermath of that event because Peacemaker's face is covered in fucking scratch marks. Absolutely hilarious. Nice fight scenes. John Economos once again does a save by shooting a shitload of white supremacists with a machine gun when they all were pretty much dead to rights. And then obviously Peacemaker finally killing his dad because he had to. He had no fucking choice. A sad moment. It wasn't necessarily played for laughs, even though there was a sort of semi-funny moment with Vigilante trying to comfort Peacemaker, but even then it was kind of sad knowing that this is what had to be done. And then we moved on from that, and I'm really happy that this story arc has now been dealt with. Hopefully it won't reoccur as Ugly Head with maybe the police trying to track down Peacemaker for killing his dad or anything like that, because his fucking dad deserved it once, as I said before. In this episode as well, the whole gang kind of finds out that Adebayo is Amanda Waller's daughter, and Amanda Waller used to be, Adebayo used to be somebody who worked in the dog shelter or was a dog walker or something like that. But because she lost her job doing that, her mother made her do this. We also find out that the fucking diary that Peacemaker has is a fake. I mean, we initially thought that diary was put in there because it belonged to Peacemaker. It was an old diary of his, maybe some evidence taken away, something along those lines. But it doesn't belong to him at all. It was created out of thin air, by Argos or somebody like that, and it was just there just to incriminate Peacemaker further. Peacemaker even mentioned, why would I fucking create something like that? You think I'm that sort of person? And it does make sense, that's not him. Judo Master comes back from the dead. Again, he beats up a couple of guys before taking on Harcourt and Adebayo. And Harcourt is fucking hardcore in this episode too. She takes some fucking licks and she's able to fend for herself. But eventually Adebayo and Harcourt take down Judo Master. I don't know how long they're going to be able to keep him contained for, because this guy seems to be not only a really good martial artist, but he's also an escape artist as well. And then finally, regarding the butterflies, because I apologize, his name escapes me, but their leader, the black guy who had the butterfly in his mouth, because he's been captured and he gets shot by the butterfly group, the butterfly leaves his mouth and he gets crushed by Goff, the leader of the butterflies, who's taken over Sophie Song's body. And now the gang is leaderless, so they look towards Harcourt as their new leader. And we realize that regarding the butterflies, is their food source seems to be their weakness, because they can't eat anything on planet Earth. They can drink the water of Earth, and they can breathe the air of Earth, but they can't consume the food. They have to bring a cow from their planet across the galaxies and milk that cow for their food source. And if they run out of food, then they won't last for 2 weeks on this planet. So that becomes the plan of action, and we see at the end the cow, and this cow looks like a giant bug. It kind of reminded me of the brain bug from Starship Troopers, but this thing is fucking huge, much bigger than that. This thing pretty much, covers the entire ceiling of a cave. The top part of a cave, you can't even see the roof of it because it's so fucking huge, and it kind of looks like it's in distress a little bit, and there's milking machines milking this thing as well. So it seems that the target for Argos, this Argos group of misfits, is to kill the food supply of the butterflies, and then the butterflies will have no choice but to fuck off back home or just die on Earth, whatever it may be. So that seems to be the final what will be set up for the final episode, and I can't wait. Excellent show, by the way. Excellent fucking show. Even excuse me. Even though this show and this episode was played for laughs, there were some emotional moments, some real emotional moments, and I very much appreciated that. I'm glad certain things got tied up, and I'm glad now we can focus on other things now without having to be concerned about other things. So great. Let me know what you think of this episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm thoroughly enjoying this show. I hope they make a season 2. I'm just loving it. Just loving everything about it. The main characters, the side characters, the plots as well. The simplicity of certain things without making it come across too simple. You think to yourself, how are they going to resolve all this? Well, sort out, deal with the food supply. I love it. It seems like such a simple solution to such a massive problem. And the problem itself comes across as quite complicated, but nevertheless, you're able to understand how everything can be resolved. And I very much appreciate this show for not going OTT with the plot, so to speak. It seems complicated at first, but now we know how it can be resolved, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me know what you think about this show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Bye bye.